With Mack Wilson's injury, the Browns' already depleted linebacker core just got a little bit thinner. I want to run by a few names for you guys to see if there's anybody out in the free agency market that the Browns could potentially pick up to bolster their depth at linebacker.
Are you ruling out Wilson right now?
As a defensive end, but he's also got versatility. He's played linebacker with Houston in his career. Jadeveon Clowney, he's 27 years old, 6 NFL seasons with the Texans and Seahawks. He only had 31 tackles, 3 sacks, and 4 fumbles forced in 2019. He's a guy who's had trouble signing with the team this year, but potentially the Browns could still cycle back and look at him as a linebacker this year. Another name, Les, that you've looked at numerous times, Clay Matthews, 34 years old. He's a veteran in the NFL, but could still make an impact on a team willing to take a chance at him. He recorded 8 sacks in 2019, which was his highest total since recording 11 sacks in 2014. A third linebacker who we haven't talked about as much, but could still be an interesting name to look at, Alec Ogletree. He spent 7 NFL seasons with the Rams and Giants. He accumulated 80 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, a sack, and an interception in 2019. He's created a lot of turnovers in his career. He's got 12 interceptions, has forced 12 fumbles in 93 career games. A fourth name could be a sneaky addition. News came out that the Canadian Football League is not going to be playing this year. So Nate Holley, who is the CFL's reigning most outstanding rookie, is looking for an NFL team to play with this year. He could be an interesting depth addition. 78 tackles, 1 sack, 1 interception with CFL's Calgary Stampeders in 2019. Les, Bud, we're not going to know much about Mack Wilson, what the status is with him until tomorrow when Kevin Stefanski addresses us. But want to see if there's anybody of that group or anybody else that you could think of that the Browns might want to consider adding to add a little bit more depth to the linebacker core.
Well, I wanted Matthews as a fill-in, a 4th or 5th guy, so I didn't want him as a guy that needed to carry the brunt. Do we have any reason to believe that that injury to Wilson is that serious, or are we just contemplating it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think Brian's saying that we don't know the extent of it, but if there is an injury that's going to require him to sit out for a while, where do they stand? Oh, it's a legitimate question, Les, because we know, I don't know if it was Pro Football Focus or another one of the websites that ranked the Browns second to last in linebacker core strength right now. Like only the Rams linebackers they found were worse. Now, is that a shot, an unfair shot at that group that hasn't really played together yet? I just think that when you lose Kirksey and Schobert, as they did, they really didn't replace him with much. And I understand that's probably where that comes from.
Do you think when those 2 guys were let go that they thought by now they'd have somebody else, or they didn't care, they just said, give me anybody because they're better than these guys?
Yeah, I just think that they look at a lot of, we know enough about this group in Berea to know that they look at things statistically, and that also applies to the cap. And I know they're under the cap. They have they've got money to spend, but I think they look at position groups and they rank them in what they consider importance, and they go about re-signing and looking for free agents.
The good thing about it from our show standpoint is we get to keep recycling the same names and statistics.
Well, the thing that jumped out at me about the Nate Holley one is, and I know Brian has this right because I saw it online today. It lists him as 187 pounds.
Wow.
Could a guy like that play in a linebacker position of any note in the
No,
NFL?
maybe as a 4th or 5th player, but not as a starter.
Yeah, but I mean the Rams had him and apparently did like him for some reasons, and he wasn't a whole lot bigger than that. So that's the speculation that maybe the Rams are hurting at that position, and they already have some background with him, and that they might pursue him, especially if he might pursue them if he has multiple offers.
216-56. Yeah, the story always changes in the NFL.